Hey guys, CDTVThaG here. The G, of course, stands for Game Theory. And today, we're going to be doing a reaction to the new Pusha T album, Daytona. So, as always, just give my quick thoughts on the artist before the video starts, just so you know where I am with Pusha T. Right now, I really don't have any thoughts on his solo music. As with a lot of the reactions so far on this channel, this is my first reaction to Pusha T's solo music. I have listened to his stuff with clips, and I think that is very good. I very much enjoy their music. But, as for solo stuff, I don't even think I've listened to a solo Pusha T song. Real quick, I just want to talk about the album artwork. I've seen a lot of people talking about this, and I just want to throw my 2 cents into the pile. I think it's interesting, but I would never call that a good album artwork. Definitely wouldn't say it's worth $85,000, which is what Kanye paid to license this artwork. Looking at it right now, it is quite good. Okay, I completely changed my mind on it. But anyway, it probably links to the music. From the cover, I'm thinking it's going to have a very kind of raw, unfiltered, gritty sound. That's what the cover says to me, and we're about to find out if that is true. So, my first reaction to Pusha T as a solo artist, and my first reaction to Daytona. Let's get right into it with track number 1, If You Know, You Know.
Still ducking shit that I did, boy.
I like this, just not wasting any time before getting into the bars.
If you know, you know.
There we go. I was expecting a much darker instrumental, but I like this.
Oh, this thing of ours. A fraternity of drug dealers ringing off. And morph into us, but a trapper turned rapper can morph into puff.
Ooh.
Circle round twice for the encore. If you know, you know.
Obviously, he's talking about drug dealing here. I know that's one of the main things that Pusha T raps about. Let's continue. I'm enjoying this track so far.
When Big Meech brought the tigers in, cause I was busy earning stripes like a tiger skin.
I like that line. Got a catchy hook too. But I like that track. Like I said, the production was a lot less dark than I maybe assumed it would be, like from the cover and the subject matter. But yeah, it was quite a like kind of light-hearted instrumental. It almost had an upbeat feeling to it. And obviously, one of the cool things for Pusha T, and I think what a lot of other people find interesting, is, you know, the fact that he raps about dealing drugs so much. I think that that appeals to a lot of people, because people that have been through it can relate to it, such as this song, you know, if you know, you know. And people that have never dealt drugs in their life can get a peek into like what that lifestyle is like. And I think that's really interesting. So yeah, this track was cool. Got some nice lines on here, very nice lines, you know. I feel like Pusha T is gonna hit us with some good lyrics. So next up, track number 2, we have The Games We Play. That production.
They tweet about the length I made them wait. What the fuck you expect when a nigga got a cape and he's great?
Fair enough.
I am your ghost in your raid. This is my purple tape.
Ooh, Wu-Tang Clan references, always good. Nice. That production, man. That doesn't need to be any more complex. It's just kind of looped, but it's fucking good loop. Holy shit. Ooh, that one really grew on me as we went through it, man. Like, I liked it from the start, but then it got better and better towards the end. That instrumental is incredibly catchy, man. And one thing I want to point out as well is I really like Pusha T's kind of like delivery and confidence on these tracks. The way he delivers stuff, you could 100% tell he knows exactly what he's talking about, and all the kind of one-liners he delivers and the way he brags with some of his lyrics. You can tell that's not a facade at all, because of the way he delivers them. I'm just wondering if the subject matter of the whole thing is going to be drug dealing. But yeah, man, I'm liking this thing so far. First 2 tracks have been very good. So, track number 3, we have the first feature of the album. I think there's only 2. We have Hard Piano featuring Rick Ross. Ho, ho. Can't do the Rick Ross noise anymore. Oh, this one sounds a lot more mellow.
Never trust a bitch who finds love in a camera. She will fuck you, then turn around and fuck a janitor. Set to let you ruin my dreams. Or Harvey Weinstein, the kid. Good morning, Matt Lauer. Can I live? Look at my new
Jeez, okay.
Had to find other ways to invest. Cause you rappers found every way to ruin protects.
Oh, yes. Fucking wow. I apologize for, you know, saying in the last track, is this all gonna be about drug dealing? I mean, we're like we're barely into the song and it's already like filled with content in this verse. And I love that. Cause you rappers found every way to ruin Patek's. Migos, specifically Offset, who can't go a single verse without mentioning Patek's. And I like Migos, but they do over-mention Patek. This one's connecting with me so far. Oh. I was wondering how the hooks were gonna get handled on this album because, you know, Pusha T doesn't sound like someone that would sing, so I was thinking there would be some featured singers.
Full of ready rock. My homie amputated but gon' stand for something.
Ooh.
I'm trying to find a way to get a Grammy from it.
Rick Ross has improved so much.
It's double them baby money monopolies.
I've heard that Maybach Music tag so many times. I think that's definitely got my favourite verse so far on this album. Pusha T killed it on that verse. I really like the content of it. And of course, Rick Ross with a pretty good verse. I don't think it compared to Pusha T's verse, but it was a good verse, especially when you look at like how much Rick Ross has kind of improved over the years. Alright, so track number 4, we have Come Back Baby.
I wonder, have you just touchdown? I'm so grateful. Numbers so low, bitch be thankful.
Okay, this is a more gritty track.
Be more burn spoon, DC glass pipe.
This dark sound fits him so well.
We chameleons.
Okay. That is a contrast and a half. I'll need to hear a verse and a chorus again to really decide how this blends, though.
If we go by connections made, I can still climb ladders when complexions fade.
I'm not sure how I feel about that, like, transition from the verses into the chorus. It's probably deliberately abrupt, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's another track that I like. Like I said on the verses, I really like that darker, bassier sound with Pusha T's rapping. I thought that's what we were going to hear mostly throughout this album. I guess not. So far, a lot of the beats have been a bit more lively, I guess you would say. And he's done very well over those beats, don't get me wrong, but I really like this kind of darker sound with his style. I'm not too sure how I feel about the chorus in relation to the verses, because separately, I think both those elements work really well on their own. But I think when you put them together, it's just so abrupt that it sounds a bit thrown together. That's just my personal opinion of it, of course. But regardless, it's a good song. Now, track number 5, we have Santeria. I believe that's how you say it.
You killed God's baby when it wasn't.
I like how he wastes no time getting into the rapping. That happened on the intro too.
Santeria, 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 Santeria.
Ah, Santeria.
Hail Mary, repeat after me. Santeria.
Okay.
It's cheaper when the chaplain prays. Santeria.
Oh, and then we're closing out with that again. I'm not sure if there was anything in the first half of the song that really necessarily stood out to me and kind of pulled me in, but then when we got that beat switch, I really liked it with the, like I said, the more atmospheric sound and that refrain from whoever did that, because again, it's uncredited, but I liked it. It was really nice. A lot of the tracks have been incredibly solid so far. Important updates are pending. Well, you're not updating right now. I'm doing a fucking video. Windows, man. It always has to update, and it makes sure you know about it. So, track number 6. I'm interested to hear this one. We've got What Would Meek Do featuring Kanye West. Bit of a darker sound again, I think.
Niggas talking shit, Push, how do you respond? I'm top 5 and all of them Dylon. Middle fingers out the ghost, screaming Machiavelli. Hail Mary.
Oh, I like that, okay.
Yeah.
That ad-lib Pusha does sound so nasty. Yeah.
Niggas talking
okay,
shit,
Kanye.
How do you respond? Am I too complex for
okay, there we go.
Going for 6 rings like what Phil told Mike. 7 peel nights, who know what that feel like?
Again, we got another song there over a bit of a darker beat, which, like I said, is something I really like to hear Pusha T over, you know, something that's a bit more bassy. That beat had a nice bounce to it with the drums. And I like the subject matter he covered here. It was quite entertaining, you know. Basically, the whole thing was like, what would you say to someone who's talking shit about you? The Kanye verse, again, not sure how I feel about that. It was a decent enough verse. You know, it's not a verse that blew me away, but Kanye gave a cool enough verse, you know, talking about everything he says causes a new debate. That is true, but I feel like it's because he says the most controversial shit just to stir up controversy. That's why everything he says causes a new debate. But it's smart. A good song, I liked it, I like the concept of it. Next up, 7th and final track on the album, we have track number 7, Infrared.
Niggas beats is banging, nigga, your hooks did it.
Yeah, just for the record as well, I've obviously seen some stuff on Twitter about this. I know that this is the track where Pusha T supposedly throws some shots at Drake. And you know, I caught one of them there. It was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin. I always enjoy a nice bit of beef. I like it. I think it's fun. If nobody dies over it, I'm perfectly fine with the hip-hop beef.
Salute Ross, cause the message was pure. He see what I see when you see Wayne on tour.
Okay, now the Lil Wayne situation.
Multi-platinum rapper trapped and can't retire.
Damn. Who the fuck is calling me right now? I'm trying to enjoy the music.
Could you ever right these wrongs when you don't even write your songs?
Whoa. God damn. A little switch for the last, like, 15 seconds of the track for some reason. Bit random, but okay. Yeah, so I like that track. Obviously, the main thing to take away from it was the disses thrown towards Drake and the mentions of the Lil Wayne situation. Like I said, I enjoy that type of stuff because I do enjoy rap beef, unless someone is getting hurt or killed over it, because at that point, it's just stupid and shows that you're insecure about the person dissing you. Honestly, I think that could have actually made for a nice intro track, you know? The fact that it finished with, we all know what people have been waiting on. Yeah, I mean, that one works perfectly as an intro or outro to the album, which I quite like. So, overall, what are my thoughts on Daytona by Pusha T? This is an album that I think, you know, its length works very well for it. It's only 7 tracks long, 21 minutes, so very, very easy to listen to. I really think I quite like this. This is one of those ones where I'm gonna need a few more listens to decide if the album really appeals to me. But I mean, on their own, all the tracks are really good. As for my favorite tracks, and here's where I know it's a good album, because I'm struggling to pick my best tracks. Yeah, I'm gonna go with If You Know, You Know, Hard Piano, Santeria, and Infrared. Those are my favorite tracks from the album, if I absolutely had to narrow it down to a few. And I guess you'll find out how much I like this album at the end of the year if my twin, CDTV Productions, we both share the same brain, so that explains that, by the way. If he decides to put this album on his best albums of 2018 list, then you'll know that after a few more listens, I really enjoyed it. Definitely way better than 90% of the albums I've reacted to on this channel. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I will hopefully see you all in the next one. I'll try and do a reaction to A$AP Rocky's Testing soon. And I will see you guys all over there. This is CDTVThaG, signing out.